right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Well, we definitely have one big thing to talk about, and that's the Pirates losing the Dodgers 12-3 here tonight. I'm Rich Walsh. We'll be joined by Andrew Fillipponi. In a matter of moments, over to 93.7 The Fan Cam. Give us a call tonight, 412-575-2600 is the number. And if you want to vent about the Pirates, tonight is the night to do it. It seemed like you got a hit, you got a hit. Everyone gets a hit, everyone gets a run in the seventh inning. Not only did the Dodgers put up 12 runs tonight against the Pirates, they put up 10 in the seventh inning alone. Not only did they bat around in the seventh inning, everyone in the lineup scored in the seventh inning. It was a disaster at PNC Park tonight. 412-575-2600 is the number. And this is a lineup that didn't have O'Neal Cruz, had Wenzel. Davis, for some reason, batting 138 is in this lineup. He had an error on a pickoff play, also dropped the ball at the plate. It was an absolute disaster, Pony. I don't even know how to sum this one up.
Richie, I'm in the back getting ready for the show, and all of a sudden it says 10:34. I'm like, okay, I got a minute.
Oh.
I walk over here. You're already on the air filibustering about what happened in the game. So my apologies for that.
I need to get on early. I was so excited. I'm so upset about this game tonight that I had to start talking early.
Hey, I was there. Okay, so I watched it happen. I saw what went on here. Again, Paul Skeens now 5 starts without a win. And you go a month without a victory with Paul Skeens on the mound, the guy that won last year's Cy Young and the Rookie of the Year before that. That's a big issue. Okay, he's supposed to be the guy that ends losing streaks, that beats great teams. And again, the same thing we've talked about for a while now with Paul Skeens. If we're going to put a letter grade on his start tonight, it was more like a B, which is not bad. I mean, you pass, you advance to the next grade. You don't necessarily get a pat on the butt or have the paper or the midterm or the final on the refrigerator because of it. It was good, but it wasn't great. And we've expected from Paul Skeens greatness for a long time. And then after that, more of what we've seen all year from the Pirates, obviously considerably worse because it was 10 runs in 1 inning, but that's been the story of the year with their bullpen. Their bullpen is atrocious. Their bullpen is their biggest Achilles heel. Their bullpen is why we stand here together, you and I, and it's June, and even though they've one of the highest scoring offenses in Major League Baseball, they're barely above 500 because this bullpen has already blown 14 saves, and it's only early June. It's not even U.S. Open time or Father's Day, and we've got 14 blown saves from this Pirates pitching, Richie.
Are they going to recover from this? I mean, look, I don't want to say it's doomsday because we still have 60% of the season to go here. But they lost 4 of their last 5. They got swept by the Braves. They got completely embarrassed by the Dodgers here tonight, and Ohtani's on the mound tomorrow.
Well, look, I mean, if this does them in, that's a problem because it's only early June. And if you're not halfway through the season and a 4-game losing streak against great teams completely ruins your season, well, then you weren't a good team or a great team to begin with, okay? So let's start there. But as far as how we viewed or thought of the Pirates before this stretch started, this was supposed to be a way of measuring them, engaging them, and grading them against the best teams in baseball, Atlanta and LA. And they've lost all 4 games. And tonight, after the 6th inning, they got completely embarrassed once Skeens left the game. And oh, by the way, the Dodgers had their worst starting pitcher on the mound, a guy with an ERA over 5. And after Reynolds' first inning home run and O'Hearn's first inning home run, you did nothing offensively the rest of the game. I mean, nada, zilch. And that's another problem, too, because now you've got Ohtani tomorrow, and you've got another guy with an ERA in the 2s on Thursday. And so there's a very real chance, based on the pitching matchups, Richie, that you end up getting swept in this series by the Dodgers as well.
And then you end up with a losing record. At that point, maybe you rebound, but you know that you can't compete, and you failed that litmus test against the 2 best teams in the National League.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I don't think anybody went into this season thinking that the Pirates had World Series expectations. I think what I wanted out of them was to be a playoff team. And the NL Central and the NL in general has been very good. So you really don't have a lot of margin for error. The Cardinals continue to win. The Phillies have done much better lately. You've got the Padres and Diamondbacks in the NL Central. The Cubs have fluctuated, big highs, big lows, peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
I mean, and the Brewers have been outstanding really all year long. So you might come out of this in a hole. You face inferior teams like the Marlins beginning this weekend, but who knows? I mean, are they going to buy at the deadline? Are they going to be willing to add payroll? Are they going to be willing to add to this team and make this better? We don't know with them because they've not been in this situation very often recently. And right now, Richie, it's just it's a really bad taste in your mouth as a Pirates fan because you went into the series against Atlanta on Friday thinking, hey, we are for real. We can be a contender. We can be a legitimate team. And you've lost every game since.
Yeah, you sweep the Twins. You win 2 out of 3 against Houston. But now say they do get – I mean, you predicted a sweep on the #1 Conference Sports Showdown, and it looks a very real possibility, especially we don't know about O'Neal Cruz now. They say it's day to day. I mean, you look at this lineup here tonight. I don't know how you can compete against the Dodgers tomorrow against Ohtani. But if you're Cherington, do you base whether you know what you need off of competing against these two teams, or you just say, you know what, maybe we don't compete against these two teams. Let's just try to get in the postseason and win here on out. We don't. Do you? Maybe I'm kind of asking. Do you base your needs on these two teams who are so much better than you?
Richie, they haven't made the playoffs since 2015. Ben Cherington's been here since COVID 2020. That's 6 years, okay? If you're the Penguins, if you're the Steelers, you go 6 years without making the playoffs, you get fired. And I understand that it's not a salary capped sport, but if you go that long without showing any real results, you know, you should be gone. And if I'm Ben Cherington in this administration, if I'm Travis Williams, I am making moves to try to get this team over the top because if we fail, then I might not be here next year. That's how I would look at it if I were in charge of this team and making baseball decisions. Most organizations do not give decision makers that many mistakes without seeing results. And we have not seen this team make the playoffs since 2015.
All right, 412-575-2600 is the number. Don't forget about our Penn West University question. I just scan that QR code in the right-hand corner of your screen. What do the Pirates need the most, a bullpen arm or a power bat? We'll try to answer that and get your feedback coming up next. Stay right there. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh along with Andrew Fillipponi. And Colin Beasley just tweeted this. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. Position player Tyler Callahan threw a scoreless top of the ninth for the Pirates. For the bottom of the ninth, the Dodgers will counter with a $72 million man, Tanner Scott. You know, in another tweet that we just got, Jace Collins just tweeted us, pretty sad when the best bullpen pitcher tonight was a position player. Yeah, not their night, but look, it's baseball, it's a long season, maybe you can bounce back, but you see a lot of holes in this team right now, and we've been pointing out the major one is the bullpen. There's no doubt about that. That's something that they have to fix, and hopefully, like you said, and like you pointed out, Ben Cherington knows that he's probably on the hot seat, that's something that they have to address here in the next few weeks before that trade deadline.
You know, I agree, Richie. I just wonder, too, with Skeens, you know, what's really going on here? His miles per hour on his fastball tonight, I'm at the game. I'm looking at it after every pitch. We're looking at pitches to critical hitters. We're talking about Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker, Freddie Freeman, the best hitters in baseball. And his fastball's coming in at 95.9 miles per hour. It wasn't too long ago he was throwing 100. Yeah. So what's going on there? And what I don't understand is, and look, I don't say this in a way of casting aspersions. I'm not ripping the people that cover the Pirates on a daily basis. I'm not. But I don't understand. His velocity is so far down. How has no one asked Skeens point blank, Paul, why are you not throwing as hard? And I'd love to hear his explanation. Maybe he has one, and once he says it, then we don't have to speculate anymore as to why he used to throw almost 100 miles per hour. And here we are 2 years later, Richie, and he's facing the best hitters in baseball like Ohtani, and his fastball's not getting over 97 miles per hour.
Yo, I remember the days when we would see 102. How many times have you seen him hit 100 this year?
0. I'm holding up right now on TV for people that are watching and obviously not listening on the fan. You can't see me do it.
Yeah.
0. That's how many times it's happened this year, Richie. None. It's not happened one time.
All right, let's hit Matt in Butler. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, guys. Hey, on the 2 quick questions. On the pitching, do you think this has anything to do with the pitching coach? Last year with Oscar Marine, pitching was our strength. This year, it's not. Second thing is I'm getting a little irritated that with Skeens, we have to catch Henry Davis. It's not working. Can't we catch Endy at least once and try it and see how it goes?
I think we talked about this for 15 minutes yesterday, right, Pony? I mean, I don't understand why this guy's in the lineup. Now he's a liability as a defensive catcher. He allowed a run, a pickoff play, threw it away. Couldn't catch the ball from Lau. I understand that wasn't a great throw there, but he didn't even have it in his glove, and he's 0 for 2 and batting 138.
Totally agree. I mean, the thing I wonder about this is, so Paul Skeens really wants Henry Davis to catch him. When he leaves Pittsburgh, which will happen if there's not a new collective bargaining agreement that completely changes baseball, is Henry Davis going to go to the next team with Skeens? Is he going to go to the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Cubs or the Dodgers or the Angels or the Mets or any of these big market teams? It's not really a good look, in my opinion, for him, that he feels like he needs one guy to catch him. And I would tell him now, look, you've lost 5 in a row. What we're doing isn't working. We've got to change it. Get used to either Joey Bart, Endy Rodriguez, or both. And Bart will be off the injured list soon. Henry Davis is quite literally one of the worst hitters in all of baseball history, which goes back to the 1800s, based on his numbers right now. When you've got O'Neal Cruz out of the lineup, Spencer Horwitz out of the lineup, when you have Marcell Ozuna struggling, you need to get another bat. And Endy Rodriguez is sitting there hitting about 270 with decent stats, and apparently he can't be in the lineup, Richie, because Henry Davis absolutely needs to catch Paul Skeens, which I don't understand.
And this is a guy that wasn't drafted for his catching ability. Remember, they were trying to play him in right field because he couldn't catch. He was a hitter.
Correct.
And now he's not a hitter. You got to try something different. Let's go out to Ben in Greensburg. How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, hey, how you guys doing? It's good to hear you guys talk about this, especially the salary cap and the new negotiations with that. I think if you're Pirates and you're even Pirates ownership, whatever Nutting is thinking about, you got to look and say, hey, let's just rebrand the whole culture. I mean, because if you're going to go out and you're going to be able to actually sign players with this new, the local networks, and there's going to be all that pool of money, players want this. They actually want this because they're going to get paid more, 50% more. Why would you not just want to rebrand the culture? Right now, the culture is based off losing. Go back to the roots of Pittsburgh. I say gut the whole thing and just gut the whole thing. I mean, just go from the beginning because you have the opportunity to do it.
Well, look, I kind of get what you were saying, Matt. I kind of get what you were saying, Ben. I mean, but this is a bigger debate here. The salary cap or no salary cap. There needs to be a salary cap, plain and simple. The Pirates can't really compete without one. There needs to be a salary floor. But do you do something like the NBA or do you do hard cap like the NFL? I understand that the players want to make more money, right? Do you want to give the money to the owners or the players? I guess you want to give it to the players, but you want a fair playing field. That's what I want. I want to see the Pirates competitive every year. I don't want to see Bob Nutting to revert back to what happened a couple years ago and not spend any money, and then we might see the Pirates be good every couple years. Baseball needs to fix itself is what I'm saying, Pony.
I agree. I mean, it really is a testament to teams like Tampa and Cleveland and Milwaukee that with everything you guys just said, they somehow still find a way into the playoffs more often than not. all those teams in first place. Maybe the Rays just slipped out of first place with the Yankees because they haven't played well lately, but you've got Cleveland in the American League Central. Milwaukee's been awesome all year. They were great last year. They were tremendous the year before. So that makes it, that makes the excuse making a little bit harder, in my opinion. But overall, in general, you get what you pay for. And that's why the Dodgers are the two-time defending champs, because they spend up there. Either the Mets, the Yankees, or the Dodgers are the highest spending team in baseball. And they've won the last 2 World Series doing that. And the team they beat last year was Toronto, who was top 5, top 6 in payroll. So, yeah, I mean, you'd like to see a level playing field like we have in the other 3 sports. And if that happened, then we could really judge the Pirates and the manager and the GM on their own merits and not point the finger at the owner for the lack of spending on the team.
And if it eventually goes to, MLB Network or one of those, you got to pay to see the Pirates, they're going to get less money than they are right now. So they're going to be in worse shape, wouldn't you think? They don't get the Yankees kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, I think the new CBA proposal is do what the NFL does and pool all the money and then divide it 30 ways. The owners seem to be okay with that because they put that in the proposal. But what they want is for a salary cap and salary floor, and the players have said forever from day one that that's something they will not go for. So we'll see just how emboldened they are, embittered, and willing to dig their heels in on that when we get to next year. And I would guess, I mean, I don't want this to happen, Richie, but my prediction is when we get to June of 2027, right now, I don't think we'll have baseball. I think there'll be a lockout slash strike, and we won't have baseball because the players and owners won't be able to find common ground on things.
But I think one common ground is the salary floor, right? But the players don't want a salary cap, but could get out of hand. You got to do something maybe like the NBA, a soft cap, right? Or a luxury tax. But there can't be that big of a gap in between.
Right. The players proposed that, but the problem is I think there was a $150 million difference between the bottom and the top. And that really doesn't solve things. That doesn't really fix things if there's still that kind of divide and disparity between the top teams and the bottom teams.
All right, we got to take a break. Back in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh along with Andrew Fillipponi. We don't have a lot of time. Do you think this nightmare ends tomorrow? Any chance of the Pirates taking down Ohtani?
No. I mean, it's one of the best athletes of all time. His ERA's around 1, and Jared Jones is 1 for 2 in his starts. I think they're going to get swept by the Dodgers, Richie, and they're going to need to rebound against the Marlins Friday for that Buckow-Luau weekend. And maybe then they can get your Bucko fever back up over 98.5 degrees.
It's going to be hard to if you get swept by the Dodgers. All right, thanks a lot, Pony. See you back here next week. Hopefully we see you on KDKA News.
See you, Rich.
Right now.